Welcome, everybody, once again to Haunt Chat Live. Tonight we have Bat Chat Radio in the spotlight. Unfortunately, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties with Ray's computer. We're hoping she's going to make it in, but in the meanwhile, we have Linda with us. And of course, everybody give a nice warm welcome to our one and only Reverend Michael the Gravedigger.
Hey, good evening, and welcome to episode 10. 10, can you believe it? 10, episode 10 of Haunt Chat Live. Yes, that was my lovely Mistress Lori there. And as she mentioned, I forgot to put my gloves on. Got to put my gloves on. Can't do things right without my gloves. Anyway, so as she mentioned, we are talking to Bat Chat, Linda and Ray from Bat Chat. Unfortunately, Ray's got something going on with her microphone, so we can't hear Ray. We can see her working on her computer, though. But it's okay because she can't hear us either. But Linda, I want to welcome you to. I want to welcome both of you. But Linda, you're here. We can hear you. We can see you.
Awesome.
Say hi. Say hi.
Hi here, everybody. Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely, we're going to have some fun here. So, Bat Chat Radio. Okay, yeah. So now we know it's kind of a play on words there. Are you saying that you chat about bats, or that you're two bats chatting? What's going on with that?
I would identify more with the two bats chatting.
I had a feeling that was the idea of it. So how did you guys come up with that name?
Well, Ray and I have been friends for a very long time. We're also huge Halloween fans. We're also producers, and we I think that we were driving up north one time, or maybe, no, we were in Hawaii. We were at a film festival in Hawaii, and Ray came up with an idea of doing a radio show. So we played around with some names, and here we are, Bat Chat Radio.
Bat Chat Radio. I like it. I like it a lot.
Nice.
So now you two ladies are in California, correct?
Yes, I'm in Southern California, and Ray is in Northern California in Murphy's.
Kind of meet in the middle?
Sort of. Well, Ray comes down here quite a bit. We actually tape in San Pedro, which is maybe 15 minutes away from me.
Okay, all right. I thought you guys taped in L.A.
Well, San Pedro's like in the L.A. County. You've ever been to L.A.? L.A. runs together. It's like one giant big city, and it has like a lot of little broken suburbs, I guess.
Yeah, we're here in Iowa, so we're just kind of one big county is all.
Yeah, we're one big city. You're one big county.
One big county. That's right. That's right. So, you actually broadcast out of a radio station too. You got a professional studio going on, don't you?
Yeah. We have a producer. His name's Mike Stark, and he has quite a few shows going on out of LA Radio Studio. So we're one of his shows, and we've been on for just over a year. And we actually put a show out every Monday.
Every Monday. Wow, that's a hectic schedule doing that. But you tape it. You don't do a live show, correct?
Yeah. It's not a live show. We don't put ourselves under that much pressure.
Have you thought about putting your thing on? It's a radio station. Your studio that you're doing it in, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Has he ever flipped the switch and oops, you're live?
No. It's a place where he produces a lot of podcasts. So he puts all these podcasts together, and then he schedules them. So I think we all come out different times each day, and our day that we come out is Monday. So, and we usually go in and we tape about 8 episodes over about a 2-hour time frame. So every couple of months, Ray takes a trip down here, and we go in for a couple of hours and do our episodes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And for those of you who have listened to Bat Chat, or who have subscribed to me and heard me or seen some of my posts and stuff on Facebook or on YouTube, you know that my producer, Mike Ross, that guy has been on Bat Chat before and talked to these two lovely ladies.
Yes, he has.
And for those of you who know the infamous Troy Crivellone from up there in the Northwest Territory, no, he's not in Canada. He's just up there, I don't know, up in the Northwest. He's been on Bat Chat. So,
yeah.
And you have Now, I've listened to a few of your podcasts, and you have a wide range of guests on too. It's not necessarily haunt industry people.
Right. Because we're both producers and we're both Halloween fanatics. Well, Ray has a business, Calaveras Coffin Company,
Mm-hmm.
and so she's going to all the shows. All the big I'm trying to think what they're called, like
trade shows or conventions.
Trade shows, yeah, like Scare LA and
right.
Dream and that sort of thing. So she's buying product all the time and then putting that out on her website. And then I made a movie called Halloween Party that is sort of a comedy. It's about a girl looking for love on the most deceptive night of the year.
Sort of a comedy?
Well, it is a comedy. It's a sexy comedy.
Ooh, I like him. I'll check that one out.
Yeah. So anyway, I did that, and basically what we do is we talk to a lot of artists that she buys stuff from, and she sells their things, or we talk to actors or other filmmakers, people in the film industry. We talk to haunters. We talk to people that are putting on those trade shows. We talk to authors, writers, pretty much anybody involved in Halloween or the movies, like if they're involved in the movies or books where they deal with Halloween subjects or anything like that.
Well, that's kind of cool, and you know all the right people, and you can do all that stuff going on. So we've got every Monday. What time? Well, it's a podcast, and it's a pre-recorded podcast, so there's not a specific time it goes out every Monday. But
no, if people want to catch it, they just go to our Facebook page, Bat Chat Radio, on Facebook, and then every Monday there's a new show up, and you just click it and you listen to it. And they're about 15 minutes, and it's usually about a couple minutes of us talking about what's going on, some new stuff, and then we interview our guests for about 12 minutes.
I see. That's right about what it was. I believe that one time, way back. And I think that's really funny because I had booked you guys for the show for this one. Yeah. And they turned around and they say, hey, as long as we're going to be on your show, why don't you be on our show? And then I got to be on your show before you got to be on my show. So
no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
What? No, you're right. That producer dude.
That was my other husband.
Yeah, the other husband. I get confused sometimes. That's just the way it is. Now, so
you got to keep your alter ego straight.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. What a long time ago, my mom taught me a trick. She said, if you want to keep the voices quiet, just teach them how to harmonize, and then get them all to sing at the same time.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. That way they're all in conjunction. All right, so Bat Chat Radio comes on every Monday. You guys can go out there, and I do have, if you go to I think both on the Facebook post or on the YouTube, all the links. I've got the links down there now. One of them, I believe, is an older link because there's like 3 of them that I've got. Huh.
Okay. I'm not sure which ones they'd be.
But go to all of them. Like their page. Yeah,
I'm sure you have the link to Calaveras Coffin Company, which is all the cool Halloween stuff.
There you go.
Ray's here.
Oh my God!
Welcome, Ray.
It was one stupid thing.
What was it?
I went back out and I went just back into Google Hangouts, period. And found that there was a little tiny icon at the top that I didn't see when we were on trying to figure this out. I had to click on that. That's what it was. Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. She's been filling in for you.
Very glad you could join us.
Thanks.
Okay, so Linda's been talking for a little bit. Ray, tell us a little bit about yourself.
About myself. Well, how far back do we want to go? I live up in Northern California, so Linda and I are about 6 hours away from each other. And of course, we co-host a radio show called Bat Chat. And
that's why we're here.
Yeah, I'm also a floral designer, been a long time floral designer, and I produce films with Linda. as we've talked about when you were on our show.
Yeah. No, I wasn't on your show. That was my producer, Mike Ross.
My other husband.
We just went through all that.
I get been kind of raised up here in the mountains and still here. And so have a Halloween business, Calaveras Coffin Company. So, yeah.
Is
right,
that one of your creations behind you?
You can see the coffin behind me.
Yes,
Let me
we
move.
can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we
Let me
can.
move this down. Yeah. I have my little village plugged in back there. And yes, my husband built this 6-foot coffin about 13, 14 years ago. Kind of the inspiration for the business.
There you go.
Yeah. We make them all sides.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Bat Chat. Now,
Okay.
you two ladies, which came first, producing together or doing Bat Chat together?
Producing
together.
Okay, so how did you guys get together? How did you meet, and say, hey, let's produce films and all that?
I'll let Ray answer.
Okay, well, Linda had finished a short film called Our Father, and I actually originally met Linda through an actress who actually is in that film. And Linda and I hooked up on Facebook before, and she told me she was having a premiere of that in LA. And would I want to come down? And, I thought, well, yeah, that sounds really interesting. But in the meantime, we were chatting about Halloween and how much we both really like Halloween. So we started to develop a friendship over our love of Halloween.
Awesome.
Went down and I saw the film, and I was just awestruck, not only by the subject of Alzheimer's, but just the quality of her work was just so outstanding. And so we just kept in touch, and we were chatting off and on. The next thing I know, there's another film coming up called Last Call at Murray's. And kind of started out where I asked her, well, are you going to need some help on the set? And she says, well, what can you do? And we started talking about product placement and that kind of thing. The next thing I know, my husband and I are executive producing the film.
Oh, wow.
Got to start somewhere.
Went down to LA and worked on that film for the near month that we were doing that. And it just kind of kept going, kept getting more involved in her films. And then when we had Last Call at Murray's in a film festival in Hawaii, we just started talking about, we ought to do a radio show since we both love Halloween so much. We ought to do a radio show. We came up with the name Bat Chat while we were there, and that's been over a year and a half ago. And here we are, still doing films and still doing the radio show.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the films.
Okay.
You mentioned Our Father.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it? Weekend at Bernie's? No, it was.
It's called Last Call at Murray's.
Last Call at Murray's. Okay. And then Linda, you had also mentioned another one, a Halloween party thing.
Yeah, Halloween party is one I originally made before Ray and I met. But we actually are doing a new one now called Turnover. And we've had quite a few short in between this that we've done together. Passage, one called Tactics about anti-poaching. And what else? Am I forgetting something? Can't even keep track of my. Were you Lamar? My name is Lamar. Ray, were you part of that?
Okay. Well, here's something I would like you guys both to do after you're done. Now, I've done on the YouTube page. I put on the Facebook one too, but on the YouTube page, I put links to the Bat Chat information. After the show, at some point in the near future, I would like you ladies to go out to the YouTube page, the Haunt Chat Live YouTube page, and leave comments under this video so that the other people tuning in can get your other links. Leave the links to things like Calaveras Coffins and your shows.
Cool. We'll do that.
That'd be great.
Because of course the whole purpose for this show, Hot Chat Live, is to let people know what's out there and to get them informed on the other shows and things going on. And so, yeah, please feel free, put whatever other links out there to the other businesses that you're doing and stuff like that. I want to talk a little bit about Calaveras Coffees, because I've liked the page. I've gone out and I've looked at the page, and they got some cool things. My wife actually has a shawl that looks like it's one you guys are selling. I'm like, oh, I recognize that.
We're waiting to see the new ones. Coming out this year. I can't wait.
Sounds like more money.
So tell us a little bit about that company.
Okay, so Calaveras Coffin Company. Well, number one, we live in Calaveras County. And being that Calavera means skull in Spanish, it was kind of a perfect fit for us to use Calaveras Coffin Company. And of course, our logo is a sugar skull. And with the coffin behind me, that was kind of the whole, use for the entire business. I always wanted to have a Halloween business, but I was in the floral business, well, still am, but don't own a shop anymore, for years, and just never had time to do the Halloween business. So a few years ago, I said to Mark, I think it's time. I think it's time we start this Halloween business. So he started making coffins of all sizes. And then it's just developed from there, where I'm carrying more things of decor and wearable items as well, which I'm expanding that a lot this year. And we're going to have more things for people to do their Halloween trees like I do. In fact, I still have a small one up in the dining room. You can't see on the other side. I took the big one down, but I still got the small one up. And we're just going to keep adding to the business. We've still only been really active in it. I'd say this is the second year, 2.5 years. So we're still building. It's strictly online. We've thought about doing a pop-up business at one point, but I just don't know. We've got too many things going. Still have a film to do.
And with the way technology is today and the way so many places are going today, you really don't need to go offline.
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah, being online, I've owned a brick and mortar store. Like I said, I had a floral shop. And boy, I'll tell you, I don't think I'd do it again. So I think online is the way to go. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And you're in like your second year for that. Like I said, I've gone out and I've perused your catalog and what have you. And there's some cool things that it kind of reminds me, not to toss any other names, it kind of feels like kind of was it Grandland Road or some kind of thing along that same. Yeah, along the same of the decor and the clothing and what have you. But your guys' stuff is way better. So.
Well, one thing that we do and we're want to continue to do is we support independent artists. And there are several things that we carry that are created by artists. And I grew up with an artist mother. And like I say, I'm a floral designer for nearly 30 years. And so that's in my blood, and I like to support that as much as I can. So I like to have products that, I have both. I have also some mass produced. I mean, everybody does, it has to. But I do have a lot of artists either hand created items or inspired, and then they went on to produce larger amounts after that.
That is awesome. I love to see the people supporting the artists of all different kinds, the independent ones, as opposed to just the big box stores. We have a lot of that in the haunt industry. There are a lot of smaller mask makers and prop makers and what have you, besides just those big box stores.
Right. You've got to you need to break out of the mold, and you got to try to find a niche somewhere, because you're right, the big box stores and stuff, trying to compete with all of that. And as Halloween grows, there are going to be more and more retailers, in competition. So you try to stand out with at least some individual things.
So I got to ask, are you guys either as Pat Chat or as Calaveras Coffins, or as you're producing, have you checked out, are you planning on doing the West Coast Haunters Convention this year.
Now, when is that one?
That is April 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Where's that at?
I believe that's in Portland.
Oh,
But I'm going to need to check that out.
Absolutely. West Coast Haunters Convention on Facebook. They've got all the links. I believe, pretty sure they're still looking, still grabbing vendors. So
Really? Great. I'll check that out because I know we do some big ones in Southern California a little bit later in the year, but I'll check that out. That's good to know.
definitely. All right, Linda, back to you.
yeah.
So how long have you been producing movies and how did you get into that?
I've been producing for about, I want to say 20 years. And really, I started directing features when in 2012 with Halloween Party. And basically, I've produced 4 features and a bunch of shorts, and we're getting ready to do another one.
That's great. So do you have a website or anything that's got your portfolio that has your list of all the different things that you've done, that's got links to where we can go and find these, if you can find them on DVD or online, on demand, whatever?
Yeah, my production company is runawayproductions.tv, like television, and that has all of my work on it.
Perfect. And I imagine you guys are on IMDb also.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yep, we are.
So now we've been talking to you as Ray and Linda. Give the people your last names. Now I've got it in the post, of course, but give them your last name so that they know who to look for.
Well,
Davis, my last name.
That's so tough. Man, that's hard.
mine is Linda Palmer.
Just Linda Palmer.
Yes.
I always see you with the hyphen in there, so I wasn't sure which direction to go with that.
Yeah, when you get married and you put that on Facebook, then they hyphenate it for you.
Gotcha. I think somebody just posted. I'm getting little pop-ups over here on my other monitor, and I think somebody just posted about you guys on something, so you'll have to make sure that you check that out.
Oh, and I apologize for only using your first names today because, unfortunately, my husband never told me the last names to go with those first names.
Usually I give her the little script thing, so she's got all the stuff, and we were flying through stuff today, and she didn't get it, so I'm like, Batchat, Linda, Ray, go.
But did you notice I didn't trip over my own tongue this time?
You didn't. That was awesome.
I think that's the first time I didn't trip over my own tongue.
Hey, it's progress, not perfection, right? As we go along. Down the road here a little bit, we'll be just as good as these guys.
Yeah, no, I know.
You guys are doing a challenging thing with a live production.
Yeah.
It can be, yes, because there's no editing. Even after the fact, I don't do any editing. Our very first show that we did, we got everything going. What was it, 30 seconds before we clicked start podcast?
Before we hit the live button, yes.
So, well, and then things come up like the issue we had with Ray's computer every once in a while. So, doing a live show, you're going to get glitches.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
and technical difficulties.
And last month we did Scare Track out of the UK. That was fun because there's a little bit more of a delay.
Oh, yeah.
So, you guys, how do you... Well, you already said that you know people, and so that's where you get all your guests. But how do you go about approaching these people and saying, hey, you want to be on our show? We're going to talk about this, or we're going to talk about this.
A lot of it's come from going to shows with Ray. When we went to Scare LA or Midsummer Scream, we go to different booths and approach people that we thought had interesting businesses or things like that. And then also Ray knows a lot of artists, so she reaches out to them, or I reach out to filmmakers that we know. And sometimes we actually get people that request to be on our show. So that's kind of cool. And then, we have some different new people. So lots of different ways.
That is totally cool. And like you said, you have a producer, Mike Stark, wonderful man.
Yeah.
He even friended me on Facebook. That's really cool. So I see him pop on every once in a while.
Yeah.
So how did you?
He's great.
How did you hook up with Mike and his studio?
I'm pretty sure that I had a connection to him through mutual friends. It was Kelly Zerbe's and their show. Yeah. So Kelly, two of our friends had a show called the Z Spot, and they were telling us about it. And Kelly's in a band called Kelly's Lot, and her co-host is Marla White, who I work with Marla on a lot of my films. She's a publicist, and all of them great gals. Both of them are great gals, and they do a sort of a music-oriented show. So they were telling us about it and introduced us to Mike. And I know when we first started to approach Mike, we were telling him we wanted to do a Halloween show. He's like, "Well, how long do you think you could talk about Halloween?" And we're like,
"Oh, normies are so funny."
Yeah. The rest of our lives.
It's only February. What are you doing talking about Halloween? It's only February. God, let's get the Christmas decorations back up.
And we're like, no, it's already February.
what was that?
I said, I just got back from New Orleans at the Halloween Expo.
You did go to that. I was going to ask you if you went to HauntCon or the Halloween Expo or both of them.
Yeah, went there, and that's where I find some of our products. And then also visit vendors I've been working with already. It's just a great time. Of course, you can't have a bad time in New Orleans.
Yeah, there you go. Did you get a chance to go over to the HauntCon side of it?
We did. In fact, a friend of mine, and we've had her on the show, she has blood rugs. She was supposed to have a booth there and didn't. I don't know what happened. I haven't heard from her since, so I got to find out what happened to her. Yeah.
But you got a chance to the cool stuff Morris had and all the other great guys that are. I love that 7-foot dragon that Morris Costumes had.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's incredible. It's a lot of fun. It's really a great time down there.
Yeah, I got to go down last year before it was with the Halloween Expo. I got to go to it last year and teach a class at the HauntCon part of it and all that. So that's good people, real good people. I enjoyed them.
Nice.
Well, awesome. We're coming up close to the end of our 30 minutes here. I want to, before we run out of time, I want to ask, you have both interviewed so many people and everything going on. And I hate to, no, I don't. I love to call out. Who is your favorite? Who is your absolute favorite? Or one of those like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to talk to this person type people. Or have you had one of those?
That's tough.
Yeah, that is a tough one because we've had so many great people on.
Yeah.
We know that.
We had Butch Patrick on, who is Eddie Munster.
I like him. Yep, I met Butch.
Yeah, we had him on twice. The first time, talk about technical difficulties. He was not in good cell service, and it just didn't work. Second time, much better. And so that was really great to have him on. And then to have actor Michael Gross on, who Linda and I have both worked with now several times. Michael's come on to talk about Tremors, and of course, he's done all 6 of the films.
Right.
I don't know. We just have a lot of great people, including yourself, on there.
There you go. Way to plug it. I love it. I want to remind you guys, if you're watching and you haven't already, don't just like the Facebook page for Haunt Chat Live, but you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to that YouTube one. We've got we're well over 800 on Facebook, but for some reason we're only around 4 on YouTube. Let's catch that up. Make comments. These ladies will be checking the comments. I hope they'll be checking the comments. But if you have other questions to their projects that they've been doing or about Matt Chat, tune in. You mentioned the Butch Patrick one. That was actually the very first episode of yours that I listened to.
Oh, cool.
It was the Butch Patrick one because I'm scrolling down and we had just been, I believe, to Crypticon KC last year, and he was there. And I got to talk to him about the mic rig that I use and what have you and tell them about that. So that was all cool. But that was the first episode that I listened to of yours.
Awesome.
That's
Ladies,
great.
I want to thank you very much for coming on. Thank you for having Mike Ross on your show back then. So don't forget, everybody, go out and listen to Bat Chat. Look for the one where they're interviewing Mike Ross. It's a great show. It's a great show. Let's make sure you listen to that one.
Thank you
check
so
out.
much. I'm again sorry for the technical difficulty on my end.
It all
you got it figured out.
Yeah.
There we go. Check out Calaveras Coffins Company and the other stuff that Linda's going to post in the comments. Make sure you go out there and like their page, like Bat Chat, subscribe to their podcast. Go out there and do all those things, because that's what this whole Hot Chat Live show is about, is learning what's out there, and so you can get more info and just make your brain burst on all the cool stuff that you can do and listen to. Awesome. Everybody, thank you for being on episode 10. Let's see. Who do we have coming up next month? Next month is Frequent Fear Podcast. That will be in March. This is February. Yeah, that'll be in March. So tune in there. Watch for the promos coming out. And speaking of which, if you guys have any ideas for other songs for Gravedigger to use in his promos, feel free to leave that in the comments too. I love reading comments. Make comments. We will see you all next month on Hot Chat Live. It's the Gravedigger and Mistress Lori and Linda Palmer and Ray Davis. And I got to tell you, it's been a blast.